Hey, Paul Ingram here, Collie Center. Got a fun little drill for you today. I get this question actually a lot about how do we change hands and grips with a knife. So I'm gonna go ahead and answer that question for you today. Let's get to it. All right, before we are looking at how to change hands and change grips and all that, it's very important that we have some training with the knife. At least we have some foundation weapon handling skills, drills, movements, so that way we have a reason to change hands, right? I mean, really, in a real fight, you're not really looking to just like change hands randomly, right? I mean, sometimes in sparring you might do that, so that way you can practice all the different variations and variables and all that to like the knife on knife and all that stuff. But when it really comes down to it, you're probably gonna be strong hand dominant, and that's the one that you're gonna be fighting with. But it's still a good, it's still a good exercise. It's still important because, like I said, sometimes in training or in sparring, you wanna switch hands, and you want a seamless way of doing that. And it is just getting to know your weapon even better. So I've got some links to some videos down below to give you some good starting off knife drills, so that way you can get some skills up. Train those drills in both hands. Get them down in the right hand and then get them down in the left hand, and then come back to this video so that way you can then learn how to change your hands and change your grips, and then you can keep the flow going right and left. All right, let's kick right into the grip changes and all that stuff, switching hands. So you're gonna see that here at Collie Center, we like to have more of like a saber grip where we have the thumb on top of the spine of the weapon. All right, if I have my live blade out, it's right there in the jimping right here. Sometimes what happens is, we don't have this like perfect saber grip like this. We might go into like a modified where it's a little bit more like on the corner and stuff. That's fine. But there's a reason why we like the saber grip over the hammer grip. When you have a hammer grip, you want to look at how this puts so much muscular tension into the forearm, which when you have all this muscular tension in the forearm, it acts like a chain reaction. Everything gets more tense. And when you're more tense, what happens? Do you become faster or slower, right? Do you fatigue faster, or can you maintain more endurance? When we go into this more of a saber grip, the form becomes more relaxed, which is a chain reaction. Everything becomes more relaxed. So now you can move this thing around a little bit more like a whip. So you're gaining a lot of speed. It takes longer for your muscles to fatigue, which automatically increases your endurance. Obviously, the most important thing is grip the knife however you feel comfortable, however you want. This is how we do it here, but you don't have to do it how we do it. Do it however you want to do it. Let's get into the actual grip changing. Assuming that you've got some drills down, so there's some skills on both right and left hand side. Let's get right into it. So from here, from the saber grip, what we're gonna do is we're gonna replace the thumb first. So as I lift this thumb, my left hand thumb is coming in. Right, as this thumb comes in, you're gonna see how I'm kind of gripping it very loosely here. I'm gonna slowly replace my left fingers now as I slide my right hand out. That way I never lose contact with the knife. All right, let me show you again from this side. From right here, I'm gonna lift the thumb, going back from left to right, I'm gonna lift the thumb, insert my right thumb, that way I have contact to the blade. I want my palm to drop onto the handle, and then slowly replace the fingers, and then I got that full grip. All right, so it takes a little bit of practice here, but that's how we work it out. So as you're going through your drills, boom, maybe you're going into basic slashing, right? This is where that transition can happen, right next to the hip. As you're going into your slashing, right there's where that transition can work. All right, maybe you go into some thrusting right here. Here's the transition, right there, boom, and right there. So it's very smooth and it's very seamless. Let's take a look what happens if we're in the reverse grip. How do we change the grip here? So the thumb is capping the knife. This is how we grip it. We don't grip it, again, with this hammer grip like this. We grip it with the thumb on top because we want to keep the knife secured in our hand. That way when we go to thrust, if we hit something solid, like the bone or anything like that, the hand doesn't slide down the blade, because if you carry, like a pocket knife, there's no hand guard on it. So the thumb acts like a stop. All right, so from this position, once we have some skills, we got some drills down, it's the exact same process. I'm gonna lift my thumb, right? As this hand's coming in, I'm gonna replace my thumb. I wanna try and bite down as much as I can with this pinky and get my palm inside right, whether this is blade edge on the outside or blade edge on the inside, it doesn't matter. I want my palm to get inside and get as much contact to the handle as possible. That pinky is going to start to wrap, and I'm going to slide my right hand out and replace that grip. And now I can move seamlessly in the left hand. Same thing if I want to switch it back. Thumb opens up as the right hand comes in. All right, let me see if I can get a good angle on this. But I want my, here we go. I want my palm to come into the handle and then slowly replace right there, that whole grip, see? Hard to get that angle. All right, and then we're good to go, back into solid grip in the other hand. All right, so it all works the exact same way. It's nice and seamless. And there's less room for error because you're keeping that surface, that connection to your knife at all times. All right, that's some basics on how to change your grips from the left hand to the right hand. Right, we're not just tossing the knife like they do in the movies. We got to make sure that we keep the secure grip on the knife. We don't want to drop it. That's like one of the worst things you could ever do in a knife situation, or if you pull this thing out for self-defense or whatever, you don't want to drop the knife. So make sure you're practicing this, right? You can even just kind of practice it on its own. You know, you can work this into some of the other switches and stuff like that. Right, but make sure that you're working that out. It is a very important skill, okay, to have. Gets you more familiar with your weapons, and it gets you to know your knives and gets you to work some coordination a little bit differently. All right, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Tell me in the comments below, how do you switch to grip? Maybe you do it a little bit differently. That's all cool, right? There's millions of ways to do all this stuff. There's so many, you know, different martial arts. Everyone's got their own ideas. Subscribe to the channel, and if you want to get a full knife training, head over to colliecenter.training and go grab my knife fighting course. It's a complete course. We go over all the different knife handling skills. That way you know how to handle the knife properly in the reverse grip, over here in the forward grip. Right, we're learning how to incorporate the footwork. We're learning some close quarter counter offense. We're learning the knife fighting, how to actually attack and apply real tactics. It's a full out course, and you're gonna really benefit from that training. It's one of our most popular courses over at colliecenter.training. Go ahead and grab that one today. Got a link in the description below. Make sure to hang out with us over on Instagram at Colliecenter and also Facebook at Colliecenter. And we'll see you around, and we'll check you back here later for some more training.